There are places in Kuala Lumpur that look ordinary during the day, but become something entirely different once the sun goes down. Jalan Ampang is one of those places. It's a long, winding road that cuts between towering skyscrapers, old villages, embassy zones, and pockets of untouched forests that have existed long before the city ever did. And among the locals, a whisper persists. Don't drive alone on Jalan Ampang after midnight. Rafi, a ride-hailing driver in his late 20s, had heard the warnings countless times, but he never believed in ghosts. To him, the night was just night. Darkness was simply the absence of light. Or so he thought. It was a humid Thursday night when Rafi decided to take just one more trip before heading home. The rain earlier had left the road shimmering with reflections of neon signs. Mist hung low, drifting slowly between the trees. He checked his phone. A new request appeared: pickup point, Old Jalan Ampang bus stop, a location rarely used at this hour. He shrugged and accepted it. As Rafi approached the pickup point, the street lamps flickered, weakly 3 lights in a row, blinking as if struggling to stay alive. Then he saw her. A woman stood alone at the old bus stop. Her long black hair fell straight down, completely hiding her face. She wore a simple white dress, soaked slightly from the earlier rain. She didn't look up, didn't move, didn't react to the sound of the approaching car. Rafi lowered his window. "Miss, are you waiting for a ride?" Slowly, she lifted her head but did not reveal her face. Her voice came out like a breeze slipping through dead leaves. "Take me home." Something about the way she said it made Rafi's arms break into goosebumps. But refusing a passenger wasn't something he liked doing. He unlocked the door. She entered silently. Inside the car, the temperature dropped instantly, as if someone had opened the door to a walk-in freezer. Rafi rubbed his arms. The woman leaned against the window, facing away from him, her hair covering everything: her eyes, her mouth, her expression. "Where to, Miss?" She whispered an address he had never heard before, a village road, deep beyond the city outskirts. A place that didn't appear on his app. "Are you sure this is correct?" Rafi asked. She nodded slowly. 10 minutes into the ride, something changed. A smell began creeping through the car vents. Jasmine, sweet, floral, but with a rotting undertone, like flowers left too long at a gravesite. Rafi frowned. "What is that smell?" He checked the air conditioning, but everything was normal. Then he glanced at the rearview mirror. His heart skipped a beat. The back seat was empty. Yet when he turned around, she was still sitting there. He looked back at the mirror. Empty. He turned again. She was still there. The scent grew stronger. Rafi swallowed hard. He tried to distract himself, tried to focus on the road. But then the woman straightened suddenly. Her hair shifted slightly, revealing the edge of a pale cheek. She spoke softly. Driver Rafi's grip tightened on the steering wheel. "Why, yes, do you?" She tilted her head unnaturally. "Think I'm pretty?" Rafi felt his blood turn cold. His grandmother had once told him, If a Pontianak asks you that question, do not answer it. He stayed silent. The woman's fingers slowly curled, her joints cracking gently like brittle twigs. She tilted her head farther. Answer me. Before Rafi could react, the woman's hair parted on its own, not like hair being pushed aside, but like something underneath was forcing its way out. Her face revealed itself, skin pale as death, eyes hollow, sunken, glowing, faint yellow, lips torn at the edges, stretched into an impossible, agonized smile. Her neck bent sideways with a sickening snap. She leaned closer, whispering with a voice that was no longer human. "Am I pretty now?" Rafi slammed his foot on the accelerator, trying to speed away, but the car jerked violently. The engine coughed, sputtered, and died. The light went out. Even the dashboard shut down. Darkness swallowed the road. Only the faint moon illuminated the interior of the car. Then the scratching began. Long fingernails, dragging across the seats, the dashboard, the windows. Rafi tried to force the door open, but something held it shut. The woman, nor whatever she was, leaned so close he could feel her cold breath on his ear. "Take me home, or become mine." Her fingers lifted, long and sharp like claws, and traced across his neck. With a sudden burst of adrenaline, Rafi kicked the door open with all his strength. He tumbled out of the car and ran into the nearest patch of forest. Her scream followed him, high, sharp, echoing through the trees. The sound was so loud it felt like knives digging into his skull. Rafi stumbled over roots, branches whipping against his face. Every few seconds he looked back and saw her floating, her hair spreading in every direction, her mouth open in an impossibly wide scream, her hands reaching for him. Just when he thought he could run no more, Rafi fell to his knees. He looked up and saw something through the darkness, an old wooden shrine, abandoned, overgrown with vines. Inside was a small altar with offerings long turned to ash, but one thing remained untouched, a folded yellow cloth, glowing faintly in the moonlight. Rafi didn't know why, but he grabbed it instinctively and pressed it against his chest. The forest went silent. The screaming stopped. Even the wind froze. Rafi woke up to warmth, sunlight, birds chirping. A police officer knelt beside him. "Sir, can you hear me?" Rafi sat up slowly, trembling. "What? What happened?" "Your car was found abandoned on the roadside," the officer said. "You were unconscious near this shrine." Rafi's eyes widened. "My car." The officer hesitated before speaking. "There's something you should see." They walked back to the roadside, and there it was. Rafi's car, doors wide open, interior shredded, and along the side 3 long, deep claw marks carved into the metal. The officers exchanged confused looks, but Rafi knew. He knew she was real. And as he stared into the forest, he heard it, faint, almost gentle. A whisper carried by the wind. "Driver, take me home." As the final traces of morning sunlight washed over Jalan Ampang, the city returned to its usual rhythm. But Rafi knew better. He never took the night shift again. He never drove past the old bus stop, and he never forgot the whisper that still echoes in his mind whenever he closes his eyes. Some say the Pontianak still waits along that stretch of road, her white dress swaying gently, her long hair covering a face no one should ever see, and every now and then drivers report picking up a woman in white who disappears before reaching her destination. So, if you ever find yourself driving alone on Jalan Ampang after midnight, and the air suddenly fills with the scent of jasmine, don't look in the mirror, don't answer her question, and whatever you do, don't stop. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more chills. See you in the next one.